going to be a clean sweep in the opening weekend to Todd Hazelwood as he wins all 4 races of Trico Trans Am in the season opener. The one car was dominant.
Get the broom out, Nolts. Maximum points for our reigning champion.
Don't chase that feeling like
Yes, he bowled a perfect game in Tassie to kick off his title defence. And at the 6 hour, he's going to face not just a combined Trans Am grid, one of the biggest enduros you'll ever see. It's going to be a huge grid. The Bathurst 6 hour is next week. And joining us ahead of that is the one and only, the reigning champion of the Trans Am, the Trico Trans Am series, Todd Hazelwood. Todd, welcome back to the driver's seat.
Thank you, Nim. It's always a pleasure to catch up and have a chat. And as you said, big and massive event coming up for Bathurst. Bathurst 6 hour, over Easter. Great way to spend my Easter weekend, and looking forward to the challenge.
Mate, let's just wind the clock back a little bit, because we talk about that perfect start to Tassie. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, because there was some absolute carnage on that grid. It was a huge, heavy. The Trico Trans Am series is just going from strength to strength, and the grid size was absolutely mega. And thankfully, you managed to avoid all of that.
Yeah, fortunately, I had the box seat of clear air, being on pole position and staying there for the whole weekend. Because I tell you what, I'm glad watching the races back now on the footage that was captured. It was action packed. There wasn't a dull moment in any stage of the race, and it was fantastic viewing for the fans watching both on TV and on the hill at Tassie there. And yeah, we got into Bathurst now with a 40-car grid, so we've stepped it up even bigger and better for the next event, which is fantastic. And as you mentioned, Trans Am itself is going from strength to strength. There's a lot of interest in the category. We're producing great racing, bang for buck racing, and I think it's a pleasure to be a part of. And yeah, just enjoying my time racing the category, and no better way than being involved in winning races as well. Makes it even more sweeter.
And the other thing too is like the competition that you've got in this year's championship, I reckon has just gone tenfold, because not only, like right now, your biggest challengers at the moment are Benny Gross. You got a nice little buffer between him. Tom Davies is there as well, but you've also got former champions like Nathan Hearn, James Moffat breathing down your neck. So to say that that was an easy weekend for you in Tassie, I know the stat sheet says something. You have to work for that, dude.
Yeah, 100%. No, the competition is super stiff. We worked out at the start of this year, there's arguably over 10 guys that could be more than capable of being on the podium this year. So, it's fantastic for our championship and for the category itself. I mean, for me personally, you want to be challenged. You want to be, for me, the whole idea of doing the Trico Trans Am series is to try and keep myself sharp for the Supercars Enduro campaign. So when you're racing something, month in, month out, in a competitive field, you got to be on your game. You got to be sharp. So, yeah, for me, it's a fantastic program to be a part of. And, as we saw over the course of Tassie on the weekend, unfortunately for me, I was out in front, won all 4 races. But, it was a stiff challenge all weekend. We were on our toes. We were tuning the car up after every session. In fact, race 1, we probably had the biggest challenge in race 1, because I had a clutch failure halfway through the race, and we actually had a slow puncher as well. So, with the way the tyre bank works with the Trico Trans Am series, you've got 4 races and only 6 tyres to use. So you've got to be quite strategic with your tyre usage. And unfortunately, we lost one of them in our first race. So we're essentially 1 tyre down to the rest of our competitors. So, it was a stiff challenge just trying to manage our tyre usage and make sure we could keep the TFH rocket at the front of the field all weekend.
Were you and your engineer just running through the rest of your teammates? Like, you got 5 other teammates to go for. We're like, we've got any spare tyres? Come on, give us a hand.
Oh, I'd love to. If the rules are written differently, we might have been a bit more strategically. But no, that was a tricky part. And unfortunately, we lost the left front tyre, which after race 1, that was the best tyre to use, because it essentially doesn't do anything at Tassie. That basically goes for a free ride all race. So we essentially lost the best tyre from our tyre bank. So, it did put us on the back foot for that weekend. So to look back at what we achieved that weekend was even more special, knowing that we're essentially a tyre down on the rest of the field. So yeah, we'll reset and go again. Bathurst wasn't as smooth sailing for us last year. We qualified on the front row, but we got muscled on both starts, just being on the outside there. So I think both starts going into turn 2, I already lost 2 spots in both races. So for us, qualify well at Bathurst, and hopefully we can do it again, but we're under no illusion that the competition is working hard in the background, and we'll just have to keep stepping up our capability round in, round out.
Now, we haven't actually spoken since you joined us on the show last year, and since then, mate, you've become Trans Am champion. You're not only that, but you got crowned Trans Am champion in your hometown of Adelaide, so it would have been great to do it in front of friends and family too. You won the Bathurst 1000 with Brodie Kostecki, and I know your motto has always been dream big, but I don't even think that the dreams could have matched what 2024 delivered. Has it all sort of soaked in now, or is it just like eyes forward and let's just make it bigger and better?
It's funny now. It feels like dream done. It's last year was incredible. To obviously win the Bathurst 1000 with Erebus Motorsport and Brodie Kostecki, that was just phenomenal. It's been a boyhood dream for as long as I can remember, and to finally remove that dirty tag of it not being a supercar race winner, which was eating away at me. That's for me, it was super fulfilling. Incredibly grateful to be provided with an opportunity where I could have a shot at winning the great race. So to do that, be a part of history is I'll take that to my grave quite happily. And the icing on the cake last year was obviously winning the Trans Am series as well. In our first year doing it with a team brand new to motorsport, it was very much a pet project of mine. So in more ways than one, that win as well was incredibly satisfying. Fantastic year of racing for me. I enjoyed my racing last year. It was a lot of fun. And winning races just makes everything so much sweeter. Very competitive at heart, for people that know me well. So everything I try to do, I try to get the most out of it. So for me, it's funny shaping up for this year in 2025. It's last year was incredible. It's how do you shift the marker and try and be bigger and better again? But still got some goals. Obviously, want to achieve. Making the move to the team at DJR, the Shell V-Power Racing team, is incredibly exciting. A bit of a boyhood dream come true for me, being a bit of a one-eyed DJR supporter as a kid. So I guess, more ways than one. I'm still fulfilling my dream of what I want to achieve in the sport and in my time here in supercars, and onwards and upwards. We'll see what this year brings. Teaming up with Brodie again, the Bend in my home state, not far from the Hazelwood farm, the original Hazelwood farm at Tailem Bend there. So that'll be quite cool. First Enduro for the year, and going back to Bathurst now as reigning champions is going to be a very cool feeling. So looking forward to that, and no better way to kick off our championship campaign in Trans Am by clean sweeping the weekend. Pole position, 4 race wins, no better way to start my year. And on a personal level too, I got the keys to my first house as well. So both on and off track life is pretty good at the moment.
I was about to say, so I was going to bring that up. I'm glad you did too, because at the rate that you and your partner Alice are bringing home trophies, I hope you got a nice little trophy room in there.
We might need a bigger shed, I think. But no, it's been a great problem to have.
Let's look at the Bathurst 6 hour too, because you'll be doing double duties, taking part in the 6 hour Enduro as well as the combined Trans Am and TA2 grid. Like you mentioned, that you've got about an extra 20 or so cars that are now going to be going around Mount Panorama. We saw what can happen at Tassie, and Bathurst is one of the most unpredictable tracks as well. And it can also be very unforgiving. Do you have to be a little bit more cautious, especially, you mentioned TFH Racing. A first-time team. Now they've expanded to a 6-car team. So are you trying to, have your teammates been trying to get a bit of wisdom off you, or is it just like, look, whatever happens, the mountain sort of dictates itself?
Oh, 100%. Well, actually, going to Bathurst for the team at TFH, we actually got 7 cars. So we've actually got Diesel doing his first event in Trans Am, first event at Bathurst as well. So, 7 cars at TFH next weekend, which is going to be a huge undertaking for both the team and myself. And, 100%, just trying to wrap my arms around the boys that I'm working with here at TFH and the drivers, trying to bring them up to speed as much as possible. Fortunately for me, I've done a lot of laps at the mountain now. One of those tracks where you can easily get it wrong before you get it right. And, I've been on both sides of the fence where I've had some success there, but I've also felt what it feels like to be bitten at the mountain. It hurts. So, just try and help them as much as I can and get through the weekend cleanly, hopefully.
Well, let's turn to the Enduro bit, man, because you're teaming up with Aaron Seaton and Jason Gomersall in the Ford Mustang for the Enduro. Now, look at the schedule. You've got the last Trans Am race before the 6 hour. You got about half an hour later. So you're out of one Mustang and straight into another one. So I'm going to guess that you might be taking the second stint, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly. I actually did my first laps in the Gomersil Mustang yesterday at Morgan Park, and yeah, it's going to be an interesting challenge for me. Double duties, two Mustangs, but two very different Mustangs. You know, one's on a crossbar type in a Hoosier and being left-hand drive, 4-speed H pattern, and then the other one's 6-speed H pattern, sitting on the right side of the car. Yeah, and very much a production style based road car. So yeah, two very unique challenges behind the wheel, but very much looking forward to it. The car's a lot of fun to drive. It's got plenty of power. And between Jason Gomersil and Aaron Seaton last year, they had, you know, really good success at the mountain. Yeah, won their class outright, knocking on the door of an outright podium as well, which was really cool. So yeah, looking forward to being part of that. I've known Jason now for over 10 years and we've never driven together. So yeah, after, you know, he's been an immense part of my my racing programs, particularly my Super 2 platform and getting my main game start. So to go full circle with Jason's going to be really cool, and yeah, looking forward to seeing what we can achieve together.
Talking Bathurst Enduros, though, that's before I let you go, mate, let's talk about teaming back up with Brodie Kostecki for the 1000 this year. I mean, this time at Shell V Power Racing Team, there's been a bit of a change in like the test days in 2025. I mean, it's down from 2 to 3. I know you're keeping yourself pretty sharp with the Trans Am program, but how much time do you actually get to spend in the DJR Mustang? Because I'm going to guess it's very, very different, even just going from one Gen 3 car to another.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the way the testing rules are written for supercars this year, you know, the main drivers think it's tough, let alone being a co-driver. We're literally going to get strapped into the hot seat at Tail and Bend there with not many laps behind the wheel. So, you know, I did 20 laps at Sydney and a couple old sets of tyres, and Sydney is never the best place to be testing. And obviously, yeah, the next hit out is Ipswich, which, to be fair, is actually a decent break between Ipswich and the first Enduro. So by the time we get to the first Enduro, I'm guessing there will be some drivers that will be feeling the element of, you know, somewhat, I guess, unprepared.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the biggest thing, is how prepared can you be in an unprepared state of mind? Yeah, so that's where, for me, I guess, running the Trico Trans Am series is absolutely paramount. Fully aware that it's now, you know, it's been over 12 months that I stepped away from being full-time in the Supercars Championship. So I think the first year when you step out of being full-time, you're still relevant, current enough to jump in a car and be on the money straight away. But I think year 2, it always becomes harder. Just naturally, from what I've seen other drivers do in the past, naturally they lose a little bit of speed in their second year. So I'm fully aware of that. So just trying to do whatever I can behind the scenes to make sure that I'm still as sharp as I can ever be, jumping behind the wheel with Brodie and do a great job. So yeah, it's going to be a great challenge for everyone, but feel like I'm going to be best prepared than anyone else out there. So that's you know, problem number 1 ticked. And yeah, just looking forward to seeing what Brodie and I can do together with, you know, looking forward to the Enduros already. Cannot wait to be joining the team, and hopefully we can get that number 38 Shell V Power Racing Mustang at the front of the field and get some success and add its life or legacy to the team at DJR.
Oh, mate, that'll be the absolute dream, wouldn't it? But Todd, you've been very generous with your time, mate. Go well at the mountain, not just on October for the 1000, but this weekend, well, next weekend coming up, and it's going to be an absolute belter. Huge field in not just the Enduro, but also in Trans Am combined with TO2. It's going to be an epic weekend for people trackside and even watching at home. So, mate, always appreciate you taking some time out to chat with us here on the driver's seat. Go well, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you, Nims. Always a pleasure. And yeah, looking forward to the action next weekend. 40-odd cars at Trans Am, 70-plus cars in 6 hours. It's going to be an epic weekend. Can't wait.
It's going to be fantastic. Good luck, mate.
No worries. Thank you very much. Cheers.